Well, it's been a while. We're back. As you can see, there's been a little bit of a transformation since my last video, which was during the beta period. There's been significant 4-star enhancement. We have, as of now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 4-stars. I've seen, obviously I did some beta videos with respect to Warrior, with respect to Y2J, so we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is I'm going to do a video of Showboat Stone Cold Steve Austin. And we're going to talk about him a little bit before we jump in. The one main matchup here, which, you know, it is what it is in terms of this is the only real one without restrictions 4-star matches against the Seth. The UF Seth, you can see, has about 185 health. He'll top out around 200. But for the purposes of this video, it should give us a little bit of an idea of you know, how the 4-stars play. We can also maybe venture into verses and see if something's there, but I'd prefer not to. That 15K will come into play, as will some others. I mean, most people have seen, when you look at it, the techs top out about 230. That's what my Orton techs tops out at. We'll go through the roster a little bit too before we go and start this. Here we are with Austin. You play him exactly the same way at 4-star. You have the choose 6 and you have the make 9 reinforced gems. This is a straight up steel setup. He doesn't really recycle, so you really kind of got to go all out here. But that move hits so hard that you usually can finish him. If not, you got the finisher backing you up, and you can also do the best you can to try to pick things up in terms of when you do the reinforced gems. And we'll talk about how to play him a little bit. Andre is the trainer. Notice there's the 10 reinforced gems, but you only change 9. So what you do there, similar to how you handle Steamboat, will be you're going to want to put one of those reinforced gems on a yellow that's already there, so that way you can at least maximize it and get the double hit damage. What we're going to do here is we are going to run the steel setup, which is the quickest and right way. Let's just take a brief moment. We'll go through his other moves. The $1 Million Dream is there. As you guys probably saw, maybe we're going to see a ringmaster Steve Austin, so that'll probably be more prominent, but here it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. He gains, you know, he's got that kick out move, which again, I guess defensively, it's what they're looking to aim to do here with it. And then his 4-star move is nothing that's too great, other than the fact, I guess it's really an anti-Steamboat move. But really, again, I guess the only way to do it would be if you run a straight defensive way to play him, you run him black, black. I guess you probably run him black, black, yellow with the, you know, with the gain healths coupled with and it's a totally different build, strictly defensive. It might be a pain in the ass. I mean, and that's something to consider if you're looking to set him up defensively. I guess I'd run him with probably Bray, so it's still one match. You probably run him Bray to either. I mean, that move probably increases the black. You probably run him probably Bray and either who's the black. Is there a black? Guys, offhand, I don't think there is an increase. Oh yeah, ZKO. So you probably run him ZKO and Bray. That's how you'd run him defensively. Different bold, but he's such a good offensive player and he's so quick that there's really not much of a point. Let's jump right into a match. Yeah, the landscape has changed quite a bit. We should be getting next week female wrestlers. That'll be interesting. I'm interested to see the builds. Additionally, you know, the reworks should be coming this week as well. So let's take a look. We don't have a real great board here to work with. There's no green. We could basically try to set up the green. But we only have 2 matches. My thought here is let's take the black. We'll force US Seth, takes his green, and we're going to get hit with it. But, I mean, not much we can do. I mean, there isn't a whole lot to work with here. And we're going to have to go with another black match here. And you guys can just kind of take a look above. See, no greens. I mean, what are you going to do? But we're at 264. And that's a substantial health. So we're going to get hit by Seth's move shortly. And as good as it is when you run an MP trainer in a match, if somehow the board is bare, it's bare. It is what it is. And that's why when I see some crazy turn rates that guys run, I mean, there are situations like this. Here we are. I mean, it's turn 3. There's no green, and there's really no green in sight. You know? I mean, so here we are here. Ideally, we want to preserve the green match and get rid of the purple. So we do that. Let's take a look. Son of a bitch. So, to this. Like I said, that allows us to kind of keep the green match. Not that it matters, because the green match coming up is going to be ready to load up anyway. So, you know, that's what we got going on there. Additionally, what we're dealing with is he's going to hit us, so we just got to kind of take it. Yeah, I mean, ladies, and this is what we call a bad board. I mean, but you can just see his health. I mean, we're getting plowed here by Seth, and he's still around. I mean, and trust me, we're going to take a look. It's not going to be fun with the it's going to be fun with the health packs when I do the next round of this. But, you know, here we go. So, lots of guys sit here and say, how do you lay out your reinforced gems? Well, there's a couple ways to do it. There's a way that I like to call the Choli method. He's talked about it. What it does is it allows us and gives us an opportunity to really turn the wild cards to our advantage and allow multiple columns to go. Now, the problem with it is you don't necessarily know which one the wild card's going to turn into. See, if you go 3 here and we go 3 here, okay? And again, let's talk about this from the start. You got to go vertical, because if you go vertical, they stay in line once they break. That's the idea with the reinforced gems, is that they break once and they remain. If you're doing horizontal, the horizontal is going to slide once one of the other gems are broken. Here, they're going to fall all down. Now, if you do 3 and 3, and we could technically do another 3, right? Right here. Okay. So these 4, as you see them running parallel, are going to turn into 4 reinforced gems. Okay. And again, as we talked about, I took the extra 1 because we're only changing 9. So I put it on here. 4 reinforced gems. It is going to be connected, which, you know, that kind of is what it is. We could run it that way. The other way to run it would be, we could run these parallel. And if we run these parallel, while throwing the extra reinforced there. Now, with the 5, now you see we have 2 non-reinforced, and we got 3 reinforced. What happens is with the 5, there's going to be a wild card that is broken. Now, what we want is we want one of the 2 of these yellows that are non-reinforced to turn into the wild card. That's the roll of the dice, and it's not a given and it's not guaranteed. So if we run a 5, if one of these 2 turns into the wild card, whether, you know, this wild card stays the same or not, then we go from 4 to 3. That's really, and that's going to be the issue. The issue is you can't always assume that the reinforces are going to remain, because they can turn into the wild card. So let's take a look at how it's going to be laid out. So again, we're turning 9. There's going to be, or rather, we're turning 10 with the extra 1 here, and then 9 are going to turn to yellow. Now, again, I'm just going to hammer this one home. We want to do 3 with the 2. We want to do 3 with the 2 because it creates a wild card, which then leaves a 3 and ideally another wild card. The only way it won't turn into a column break is if one of the 2 other yellows become or rather one of the reinforced gems become the wild card, in which case then it'll be a 5, not a 4. So let's take a look. Here we go. So as you can see, the one in column 2, we didn't get the bounce and it didn't go with the column, but the 2 on the right side, they did turn into they did turn the proper non-reinforced gem into a wild card, and therefore we got the 4 straight up. So again, it sounds a little confusing, but the only way to do it is that way. And I'll run him once again. Not going to heal him up. Confident enough that he's fast enough to end these matches without, you know, necessarily getting killed, even against a 4-star like South. You guys can see. I'm in a bit dire straits, and my little cover in terms of so you gotta cover it right back up. Not that it matters at this point. My coins are going to be different. My cash is going to be different. I have to buy some 2-star tokens. So by the time this airs, it'll be a completely different number. But we might as well move it right back up. You can tell the rust of me not playing. So we're going to go. He really took a beating, as you saw. I mean, really, Seth cycled his move twice. And, you know, he's down to about 117. But we're going to keep him in play. I wish we had a Steamboat to work with. I would have really liked to kind of mess around with that defensive build, but I'm sure as we see more hell modes develop, that, you know, maybe there will be a Steamboat or somebody in similar ilk who's at a 4-star level. Okay, so here we go. It's a little bit different of a build. What we have here is we have not a great board to work with. So this will kind of show you the other end of the spectrum where we can't lay up 3 columns. So here we're doing we've got our 3 here. We're gonna try to do 3 here, okay, and we're going to do 3, 4 here. So what's going to happen is at the end we're going to see there'll be a 4 on the end that'll wipe out that row the first time through, and then it'll just be a 3 right behind it. Over here, on the second to last row, we've got 4 that should be, because they're all reinforced, okay, it should be a 4, and then it should be a double column that way. And then over here, with using the 3, again, we're rolling the dice. We're hoping one of these 2 yellows at the bottom become the wild card, not one of our reinforces. And as long as that's the case, we'll get another column. I'm assuming, based upon how this is laid out, we'll see if Seth kicks out of this. If not, we might actually be able to use the finisher here. See, as you guys saw down there, one of the reinforced gems became the wild card, and that's why we did not get the Cascade. And here we go. So Seth did not kick out. I was very close. I was really hoping, guys, we'd be able to see Austin's finisher. Maybe we'll fight him one more time, and maybe we can get the finisher out there and kind of take a look and see what that looks like in play. But he was super close, and I assume if he was max, which would tack on another 20k health, he absolutely, with the multiplier, probably would have kicked out there, and then we would have been able to do the finisher. But you can see his turn 2 effectiveness. There aren't a lot of characters where, without a lot of luck, they can win turn 2, especially at this level. and he's one of these guys. I mean, there's a few of them. I mean, you have him, you know, you have Vader. You know, and then you have a whole bunch of others where there's, with some luck in their optimal build, they can win. And those are the powerhouses we've mentioned before. You know, the Warriors, the Sheiks, the Goldbergs. You know, with some luck, you might be able to catch them. And even to some degree, I mean, part of the issue with Volkov people are having is that he doesn't really recycle. And if you run him with the steel build, you might win 20 to 30% of the time. At least that's what I've experienced in my trials. So here we go. What are we doing now? It's an interesting situation here because we know what the computer is going to do. The computer is going to go right for those purple. So here's my thought. You know, I can take the purple away, you know, and at that point then leave myself, you know, not in position to get a green. Or, you know, we can do it a couple ways. We can go take the red out, which takes down the purple, hope for a green match up in the top right, or I just take their blue, because we all know the blue is the most effective move, hope for the green, and at the same time I leave the purple match, where if they decide to do the horizontal purple match, it'll take the green down one row, and I'll be able to have a match on turn 2. And that's what I'm going to do here. Let's see if we get lucky. Nope, they did vertical. So, but that's the way you can kind of, you know, play the game a little bit, you know, percentage-wise, a little bit smarter. At this point, I'm always a big fan of, you know, still trying to set up the. I mean, the odds are what, 1 in 12, now a little bit more, 1 in 36 or something. If it can be 1 in 7. Here we can maybe get 2 greens up top. Didn't get lucky, and of course he gets the 5. And you know, this is going to be kind of ugly for us at this point. But again, this is the kind of stuff where when I see, you know, whether it's other content providers, you know, numbers that come through that have just ridiculous move rates, even on turn 2 guys. I mean, look at this. I mean, we've seen 3 matches here, right? 3 matches, and out of those 3 matches, we're at turn 4 this time and turn 4 last time, where we did not get a green match. I mean, come on. Like, so how are you telling me a guy's 2.5, you know, 2.5? He's not 2.5. There's no way. I mean, two out of 3 matches here. I had a match at turn 4 before, and here I'm still. Tell me right now, even if I kick out of this, which isn't a given at this point, even if I kick out of this, what am I doing? I mean, because we're not getting any multipliers. He's probably not going to make it here. Yeah, but I mean, literally, it was. Turn 4, we lost. It is what it is. Again, I didn't replenish him. He would have kicked out all this without a problem if he was 270. But, you know, I mean, it's 2 out of 3 matches, you don't get 1 match. I mean, that's the thing. You know, and there's some other people out there who release some content where they talk about and they assume matches, and that's always the biggest mistake I find. You can never assume a match. I mean, you get boards like this. These are 3 boards. Out of 3 boards, we had no green match here in 4 turns, and then the other one took me the 5th turn. So, I mean, sometimes it's just a bad beat. So, you know, there's a danger, and I think there's also a danger when you assume double matches. I mean, look how hard it was to get 1. You know, but that's where we are with Austin. You kind of guys have an idea of how he works. I'm not going to replenish him. I mean, as you know, everyone has kind of found out, the health pack situation is really awful right now. So, you know, that's where we are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, and you guys can comment in the comments below. I'll take, you know, any and all requests on my next 4-star video. We have 7 that are out there. I will remind everyone I did do Warrior and Y2J in beta, but as you guys can see, Warrior's at a max silver, so it would be a little bit different of a gameplay. And you know, Y2J, I mean, we did it once. He plays the same way, but he does have 2 hollow stars, unlike the 4 stars before. So I'll be happy to take requests. And you know, get this thing back moving. I don't expect to have another 4-star really anytime soon. I'm sure most of you guys are in the same position where the 4-star silver tokens are really, you know, inhibited, and at this point you know, I'm hurting. I'm very coin hurting, and we're really no end in sight till the end of this event. So thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this gives you an idea on how to play Austin, and I'm sure I'll see you guys soon.